Time for a computer build. The case on the bottom does not have a motherboard in it. And we're going to put some hardware in it. I hope that everything's still in there. I guess we'll find out. First, I'm going to take the video card out of this because I'm going to use this video card in this project. Okay, let's look at what we've got here. Here's the RAM. 16 gigabyte kit, I should say. 8x2, DDR4, 3200. Nothing special. Pretty much all my kits these days, all my builds, unless there's a specific reason, they get 16 gigs. Cheap SSD, Kingston NV1. Nothing special. There's the CPU. R5 4500. It's been opened. So I wonder if this is actually a open box. It might be, I don't remember. But this will need a video card. You can see it says discrete graphics required, which is why I pulled that R9 380 out of the other thing, because might as well put a beefy card in this. New hardware. Not that it'll ever take advantage of it anyway. And the motherboard is a Gigabyte B550M DS3H. Nothing special. Functional. Never actually used one of these before. So hopefully functional, I guess, is the better word for it. Let me go ahead and pull this out of its packaging. Okay, there's the board. There's the SATA cables, which I won't be needing. So I kick absolutely everything all over the place. The books, driver disc, I/O plate, which I will be needing. Check it out. Brand new. It's been sitting in the box for a year now. So I'm sure some clever clog is going to tell me just how obsolete this stuff is. Not realizing that I don't really care. To be quite honest with you, it's still perfectly functional. As long as it works, of course. There's no analog video, but you do get a singular PS2 port, and I'm kind of curious why this USB port's got white on it. If maybe this supports some kind of BIOS flashback functionality? I don't know. Let's see what the I/O plate has to say. Yes, it does. You can see there it is there. For BIOS updates, so that's useful. Hopefully I won't have to actually do that, but if I do, at least I'll know that I can. So, let me get the SSD and the RAM installed. Alright, there's the NV1 NVMe SSD and the GAMX D20 installed. I'm not really totally familiar with this memory, which is kind of why I got it. I think I've got one system somewhere that's got some RGB GAMX memory, but I don't remember which system it is, and I don't really know what all it entailed. Now I gotta get the CPU installed. Here's the chip. If you look at it, you can tell it looks like it's been previously enjoyed, which would have definitely driven the cost down, which is probably why I bought it, and not a second 2100. Sorry, 4100. That's what this is. It's an R3 4100. Put together that later. Now I gotta get the heatsink installed, and I don't know if I'm gonna actually have any thermal paste on that heatsink. I guess we'll find out. If not, I did buy some thermal compounds. It's not a big deal. Okay, there it is. Installed. I did have to install new thermal paste because, as mentioned, and as I suspected, it was previously used. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Another one of these heat sinks that uses the screw mounts instead of the bracket that the motherboard came with. But again, not a big deal. So let me go ahead and we'll install this in the case. Okay. Everything should be plugged in now. I realize that, yes, I'm skipping some steps, but this is not a how-to video. I've done computer build videos on this channel before, and if you're looking for advice on how to build a computer, you might as well get advice from somebody who knows how to do it, which is not me. So, you can see lovely cable management. But I want to see this thing work now. Okay. Now, there's a non-zero chance this might not work, because the BIOS might not be new enough to support the CPU. Let's see. We are on. I heard something spin down. Something's happening. Because I could hear it. There it goes. So it will post. Cool. Press delete to enter setup. New CPU installed. Firmware TPM corrupted. Or structure changed. I will reset the FTPM. It's a brand new chip anyway. It rebooted. Hope it doesn't take that long to post every time. Let's go into setup. Hopefully. Yep. Just reboot it again. And again. So, not a good first sign. Okay, are we done rebooting? I would like to go into setup, please. BIOS has been reset. Please reconfigure setup. Okay. Here we go, folks. Yes. Alright, let's get comfortable. On the cold, hard ground. Oh, yes. So. I want advanced mode. How do you do that on this? F2. Alright. Advanced CPU settings. SVM mode. Oh, stop being stupid. SVM mode enabled. It's the first thing that we'll do. Everything else should be okay. XMP, we'll turn that on to profile 1. That should be good on that. And then I'll configure the rest of these settings the way that they should be configured. Alright. Temperature's looking good on that. 3200, so the XMP took. And I think we are ready for an operating system. I think I will do that later, because it's getting kind of late. And I've got some other things that I would like to take care of tonight before I have to go to bed, because tomorrow's Monday, I gotta go to work. Yuck. Who wants to go to work, right? Anyway, let's look at some health status here. Everything there looks okay. Smart fan. Well, that's not really what I had in mind. Go back to easy mode. We could take a look at it. Yep. Everything looks good there. So, I wonder if I hit Q flash. Nope, no disk drive found. So I got to put the BIOS on a USB and do it that way. If I want to update the BIOS. It's running version F14. I don't know how many more updates there are for this. Like I said, we're set for an operating system. This is going to get Linux, because again, it's just going to be a web browsing machine. I'm not going to waste a Windows license on it, or Windows license activation on it. And I'm going to have to run, if I would run Windows, it would have to be Windows 10, because I can't, that video card does not have a Windows 8 or lower driver. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have that mouse hooked up, because This only has one PS2 port, which I noticed. It seems to be a gigabyte thing. I only have one PS2 port. Kind of a weird setup. But that's the way that they chose to set it up. So that's the way that it will be. I don't even know if this mouse works. Yeah, it doesn't look like it does. I think it's done. So that's annoying. It was a working mouse. I guess now it's not. So we'll Control-Alt-Delete. We'll see what actually happens to boot. Oh, there we go. Now I think it's working. But, yep, here we go. Get that started. And with any luck, this will actually work. Wait for a desktop to show up here, but it shouldn't be too long before it does so. This disk is a little bit outdated. There's not much I can really do without downloading a whole new release, which I don't want to, because I'm lazy. And we'll just jump straight to install. We'll go through it, the usual subset of things. And I'll come back once it's done. Shouldn't take too long. I find it funny these don't make swap partitions anymore, but it makes sense. They don't really have to. Things have got enough RAM these days. Okay. Restart. As expected, it didn't take very long. I'll pull that out. Should be very quick. Now I'll have to log in. Okay, we're all ready to go with this one. So let's put the cover on, shut it down, and move on to the second one. Okay, let's get started with the other build. Here's the basis. One of these B450M DS3H Wi-Fi boards, basically the latest version of this platform that I've been using for a while. Don't remember why I got this one in particular. I think it was because I couldn't get two of the B550s. So, this was the next cheapest option. Cheaper CPU, R3 4100. Again, it will need a discrete video card. And that's complicated by the fact that I'm going to be putting this into a small form factor case, but I do have an SFF GPU that I'm hoping is still functional. Otherwise, same kit of memory. I'm going to go with an SATA SSD this time. Just a random little SATA SSD. I might not use this one, I might use a different one. I'm also going to install this hard drive that would otherwise sit around doing nothing, so we'll give it something to do. Okay, here's the board itself, unpackaged. Almost the same, but not totally. There are some differences. Obviously comes with SATA cables. I'll be using both of those. I/O plate, which hopefully I don't break. Of course, manual, CD. This one comes with Wi-Fi antennas, obviously, because it uses those, and I am actually going to use the Wi-Fi. on this because it will cut back on the number of cables that I will need to hook up on the computers at the end of the day, which is desirable. Here it is, out of the packaging. It's a little bit smaller, actually. I was kind of surprised to see that, but it's still the same basic idea. I think it's got only one extra fan header. The other one had two. Yeah, it's only got the one fan header there. But that's fine, because the case that it's going in, I think, has a fan, but it might not even have any fans at all. Here's the wireless. I'm not sure if this is new enough to have Wi-Fi 6 or not. Guess we'll find out. Alright, here's the chip there. R3 4100. Not previously enjoyed. So it is all nice and shiny. And the heatsink, when I put it on, should also have thermal compound on it. I did have, like the other one, I did have to pull off the bracket, because I guess these newer heatsinks from AMD use these screw holes directly. Here's the heatsink installed with spring-loaded screws, but you gotta be careful with not to use a worn-out screwdriver, because otherwise you'll slip off the screw head and stab right through your motherboard. Been there, done that a couple of times. Not fun. Skipping ahead quite a bit here, because I gotta be honest, I forgot that I was shooting video of this. Oops. So, here is the machine put together. That is an AMD Radeon HD 6450. So, kind of a piece of crap, but it is a small form factor card, so it'll work just fine for this. There's the RAM, ADATA XPG, CPU fan plugged in there. Also got the Wi-Fi paddles installed. I think every single one of these things has a different design of Wi-Fi antenna. This case also has USB 3.0 on the front, so that was pretty neat. As well as 2.0. Got the SATA drives plugged in. I did change out my plan for the SSD. It's just a Kingston 240 gig thing, which, yeah, it's a piece of crap, and yeah, it'll probably die soon, but all the more reason of an excuse to put an NVMe stick in this. It's not going to see a whole lot of use anyway. And then there's the backup hard drive. So, let's plug it in, and then find that the BIOS is not up to date enough to run the CPU. Should have a case speaker. It'll probably reboot a couple times while it's initializing. See the CPU fan changing speed. Oh, USB just reset. I don't know. I wonder how much of that is the mouse just being weird. Somehow or another, I'm not surprised to find that it is not booting. And there's a fly up in the light up there. And why am I not surprised? Oh, there it goes. That took quite a while. Okay, BIOS has been reset. Wow, that really took a while. I'm surprised that took as long as it did. I did not expect that. Alright, save and exit. See how long it takes to boot. Here it comes. Hopefully it's going to boot to the USB. Or not. No idea what it just did. Oh, rebooted. Okay, give me a boot menu. UEFI OS, Kingston. This mouse is being so stupid. Stop that. Start Linux Mint. Wow, I went to go load the installer and poof. See if it does that again. Yeah, we got a problem here. Don't know why it's doing that. Other than for absolutely no reason. Oh, we got some corruption. That's what's going on. Wow. Because I bet I can't open any of these programs with these crossed out symbols. So, maybe there is a problem here. Can I open up the disk utility? Nope. So, I don't know what happened there, but that got screwed up in a big way. Okay, I guess the USB stick was loose because I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Now it's fine. Well, I rebooted it, obviously, because the whole thing went down like a house made of matches. But, yeah, second verse, same as the first. Gonna go through this exactly the same way as last time. A little bit different because it's going to install to one drive. We're going to use 240. Install now. Then I'll fill in the rest of these details. Let's go ahead and watch the complete boot up process. Definitely not as fast as the NVMe, but not too much slower. So, I think I'm actually going to stop the video there. I think we're pretty much good to go. I'll just go ahead and do some final tweaking on this, put the cover on, and wrap it up. So, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below.